Rather than give Tomas a chance to talk his way out of what she's just walked in on, Kat sums up her beau and Eva thusly, "Y'all are both garbage!" She goes on to read them for filth, accusing her sister of having wanted Tomas since the moment she met him. "Poor little malt liquor out for the homegirls who ain't made it out of Ho-Town," Kat quips bitterly. For her part, Eva accuses her sis of having been a first-class, top-tier bitch to Tomas since forever. Eva makes sure to say that Tomas scored a 10 in the bedroom, leaving Kat stunned that he'd clearly shared their intimate issues. Things get nastier and nastier until Kat storms out, snatching back the Chelsea Cat purse before doing so. Once she's gone, Eva declares, "It doesn't get any messier than this." But it does, because Tomas gives her the "I didn't mean to lead you on" speech, leaving Eva stunned that, after everything, you still want Kat? She makes a strong case that he should be with her, but Tomas won't budge, leaving Eva to realize she's made the exact same mistake as her mother did with Ted. Saying she never wants to see Tomas again, Eva breaks into tears. Madison and Chelsea have a lot to celebrate thanks to the Chelsea Cat launch being a success, and Allison's call only serving to make Chels feel stronger than ever. With Madison cheerleading from the sidelines, Chelsea records a message offering advice and encouragement to her followers. Their evening is interrupted by Kat, who vents about what had happened with Tomas and Eva. Chelsea suggests her cousin forget about the guy and move on, but Kat thinks this is just a rough patch. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing. I'm not letting Eva win. Ever. Naomi stops by Orphe Jeans to thank June for returning her wedding rings. As they chat, June admits she's never really been in love, but shares that she did recently meet a guy who was Morris Chestnut handsome and put the giggle in her wiggle. Or was it the wiggle in her giggle? With an assist from Jacob, Naomi gives June lessons in how to flirt, only to learn that the man she hopes to use them on is none other than Ted. They advise her to find someone better to crush on, but leave out that Ted is Tyrell and Samantha's grandfather. Later, Naomi worries about Jacob's determination to find out what really happened to Doug. Smitty and Martin share a nice dinner and reminisce, with it looking as if, maybe, just maybe, they're getting back on track. But instead, Martin tells his husband that he can't continue sleeping on the couch, so he's leaving. "I can't occupy, and I'll be back if we find that again." Andre and Ted go from having drinks at the club to crashing Nicole's dinner with Carlton. Needless to say, this doesn't win Ted any points with his estranged wife. In fact, he later watches as she kisses Carlton. Vanessa tells Joey that she needs answers. For his part, the casino owner tries to alleviate her guilt by saying Doug was an addict who made bad choices. Obsessing over their last call, Vanessa says she needs answers. Where does she hope to find them? At the crash site, Joey tries convincing her she should focus on her kids and Doug's celebration of life. "Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable." Here's what went down Monday, September 29th, 2025, on Beyond the Gates when Vanessa went fishing in an empty pond. Leslie didn't find the finer things fine, and Randy re-upped his crooked contract. On Beyond the Gates, Vanessa arrived at the police station, where she nervously went on to Jacob about how she'd always had to trick Doug into smiling for a picture. Jacob apologized for giving her the news of Doug's demise over the phone. Vanessa described how she'd told her kids, Deanna and Donald, about the death of their father the day before. Vanessa and her children had questions, and Mrs. McBride wanted to know if there was any chance there had been foul play involved in Doug's crash. Jacob relayed how Doug's car had caught on fire after ramming into a tree. A flask had been found alongside him, and Jacob felt that the imminent autopsy would prove that Doug had been drunk. Vanessa recalled that Laura had been run off the road as well, but Jacob reported that there hadn't been another vehicle involved in Doug's case. Jacob intuited from Vanessa's line of questioning that she had suspicions about someone. "I know exactly who's responsible," she said coldly. Vanessa blamed herself, saying she should have noticed that Doug had been sliding downhill. She'd hoped that there had been another reason for Doug's accident, because he'd always made a point of not getting behind the wheel intoxicated. Jacob handed Vanessa a manila envelope filled with personal effects of Doug's found at the crash site. The detective assured the widow that it wasn't the envelope that was Doug's legacy. It was his family and the lives he had saved as a surgeon. Jacob was called away, and Vanessa went through the contents of the envelope, crying, "I'm sorry," when she saw Doug's wedding ring. Joey told Marcel on the phone that he hoped investigative reporter Smitty didn't end up looking into Doug's accident. Randy appeared, surprising Joey, who told Randy he must have a death wish for showing up when their deal had been for him to disappear forever. Joey's former employee produced a gun and demanded to know what he had to do to not end up in a ditch like Doug had. Randy handed Joey $20,000, which was twice as much as he had taken from the casino owner. Joey wasn't convinced he should let Randy off the hook, especially since Randy had approached him with a weapon, and Joey wanted to know why he shouldn't summon his men. Plus, Joey said, he knew that Randy had been plotting with Doug to take him down. When Randy tried to explain that he had been working to talk Doug out of it, Joey interrupted, remembering that Doug and Randy had been friends since childhood. Joey was sure Doug wouldn't want Randy to sacrifice himself on Doug's behalf. Joey was confused as to why Randy wanted to come back and work for him. Randy admitted he didn't want to spend the rest of his life looking over his shoulder. Joey called Randy's loyalty to Doug misplaced, but when it seemed Randy would once again be loyal to him, Armstrong shook Randy's hand. "I hate it when we fight," he quipped. Joey called Marcel and revealed that Randy was back on his payroll. He didn't trust Randy, but he could use him, and if Randy failed him again, Joey posited, Marcel could just arrange another accident. At that moment, Vanessa entered the casino's back room, catching Joey on the phone. Ted knocked on what he thought was still Eva's hotel room door, only to find Leslie answering. "Howdy, neighbor," Leslie grinned, telling Ted that Eva didn't live there anymore. She did. Leslie waved a bra around. Ted saw on his phone that Eva had tried to warn him. Leslie didn't like Ted's negative spin on the accommodation swap and asked him not to discount her giving Eva the apartment they had shared. Ted resented Leslie taking away his chance to get closer to Eva, which had been easier with them living in the same building. Leslie said that Ted still had Eva at work and surmised that Eva had been caught between them long enough. Ted refused to pay for Leslie's room. Leslie assured him she had taken care of it herself, thanks to Ted's former mother-in-law. When Ted spat that there was nothing former about his marriage, Leslie reminded him that Nicole was still very angry with him. "Because of you," Ted frowned. Once Ted grumbled that Nicole had been softening towards him until Leslie had announced to her rival that they'd had sex, Leslie replied that there had been no need for Ted to confirm it. Leslie found it odd that Ted didn't want to lie to Nicole when he had done nothing but for 2 decades. She guessed that perhaps he didn't want to save his marriage anymore. Leslie tried caviar but nearly gagged, finding it disgusting. She offered Ted the whole jar she'd bought. When Leslie invited Ted to dine with her, he declined, but she said that he'd be seeing a lot more of her now that they could run into each other in the lobby or in the elevator. She was also sure that Ted would be thinking about her, but she toned down her seductive attitude and asked him to leave all the anger, guilt, and shame around their relationship behind. Leslie just wanted to be seen. Ted seemed tempted when Leslie said that this time they could go to bed sober and with the lights on. However, Ted didn't want to make the same mistake twice and walked out. Leslie appeared affected for a moment once alone, but she rallied, hoisted up her champagne. Kat and Chelsea's guest house had been set up for the Chelsea Cat online launch, with Samantha working on the sidelines. Samantha felt they should use Andre to line up shots instead of her, but Kat wanted a more homegrown feel and remarked that Andre wouldn't be able to model purses. The company's manufacturer, Alexandria, walked in, and Samantha got her mic'd up while Chelsea emerged from the other room where Madison had been supplying pep talks. Kat let Chelsea know she could still back out, but Chelsea was ready to rise to the moment. Samantha gave the cousins their cue, and Kat began her introductory statements, thanking Samantha, Alexandria, and Chelsea who spoke assuredly and presented their first released product, the Dream Bag. Chelsea and Kat took live questions about it and showed off other variations in the line. The next call shocked everyone. It was from Allison, who referred to Chelsea as wifey. Samantha struggled to cut Allison off, but was unable to, and Kat, seeing that Chelsea had frozen up, called a break to the live stream. Chelsea wailed that Allison was supposed to be in jail. Samantha checked around the doors, and Kat called Jacob, who explained that Allison was still in custody. She had just been talking to a lawyer and had managed to get access to a rookie's phone to join the live. "Nothing keeps me from my wife," Allison decided determinedly. Jacob said that she and Chelsea weren't married, but Allison believed otherwise. Jacob had her taken away. Samantha apologized profusely for letting Allison slip in, but Chelsea held her blameless and thanked her and Kat for having her back. Then, Samantha discovered that the purse's pre-orders were through the roof, and the young women hugged. After Samantha excused herself to do homework, Chelsea heaved a sigh of relief and declared victory. Kat admitted she'd envisioned the launch celebration as being bigger and that she'd be spending it with Tomas. When Kat granted that she should find her estranged boyfriend, Chelsea felt that Kat should find Eva first. Kat balked, but Chelsea turned things around, asking how Kat would like it if Tomas told her who she could and couldn't be friends with. Chelsea presented her cousin with two choices: keep going after Eva or keep Tomas. She couldn't have both. Chelsea suggested that Kat make nice with Eva and even gave Kat one of the line's purses to use as an olive branch. Kat had heard through the grapevine that Eva was back at her old apartment and grimaced at the idea of Eva pairing a Chelsea Kat bag with one of those tacky polyester outfits. "What's the worst that could happen?" Chelsea asked of Kat's potential visit to Eva. Tomas helped Eva move back into her former residence, with Eva commenting on Tomas's muscles. When Tomas noted that Leslie arranging for Eva to own her first home was sweet, Eva conceded that Leslie could be sweet, though her gifts usually came with ulterior motives. In this case, Leslie taking over Eva's hotel suite in the same building as Ted's. Tomas predicted fireworks and moved the topic to Kat, who continued not to respond to his attempts at contact. After Kat had labeled him bad in bed, his confidence in his ability had been shaken. Eva recalled that Tomas had been of the opinion that he'd been putting too much pressure on Kat, but now that Kat was giving him the silent treatment, he confessed that doubts were creeping in. The young Ms. Thomas had Tomas look back on his previous sex life. Learning that Tomas had had no complaints, Eva deduced that Kat was the one with the problem. Still wanting to prove that Tomas hadn't lost his touch, Eva kissed him, though she thought better of it afterwards. Tomas listened as Eva went on about how he hadn't judged her after what she'd done to Nicole and Ted and had become her friend, even pretending to like her favorite books. Eva felt she'd overstepped and had just made an idiot of herself, but Tomas announced that he was rereading the last tome in their shared trilogy, particularly the part where the fictional lovers finally acted on their attraction. Tomas took Eva's hands and kissed her back. "What about you and Kat?" Eva asked. Tomas avowed that there was no me and Kat, and Kat didn't seem to want to have anything more to do with him, besides. Eva gave in, and clothes started coming off. Tomas took Eva to the couch, where they made love. Afterwards, Eva asked Tomas if he was freaked out, and he said he wasn't. He preferred to stay in the moment, and Tomas wanted to get a shower. But as he stepped away, Eva gave his performance a 5-star review. While Eva was straightening up her living room, Kat arrived on the door and handed her the peace purse. "It doesn't have a bomb in it," Kat eye-rolled. Eva said it wasn't a good time, but Kat insisted on coming in, not wanting to do this outside. Kat pronounced that her hate toward Eva hadn't gotten her anywhere, and that she didn't want to lose anything else to it. Therefore, she was giving Eva a chance to be a sister to her. Eva wouldn't accept the purse and asked Kat to go. But Kat pointed out that Danny and Nicole, also sisters, were total opposites, like them. Yet her aunts loved each other, and perhaps one day she and Eva could have a sisterly relationship. As Kat proposed, they could even share things. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Already this week is shaping up to be huge. We have seen the return of the Man in Black, Randy Parker, and Thomas and Eva have taken the next step. Kat had discovered the two together and was jaw-dropped. In Wednesday's episode, Hayley discovers her husband's been playing detective. Just what was Bill investigating? Maybe her ties to the mysterious Sammy? That question needs answering stat. Derek did the proposal he wanted to do, and Ashley is now wearing his ring, just as he had wanted her to. But all is still not well, and he is still harboring the secret of the feeling in his legs returning. In Wednesday's episode, Derek feels left out in the cold. Is this engagement going to be over before it even gets to be a wedding? Danny can't give it up, and in Wednesday's episode, Danny confesses her addiction to Anita. And speaking of confessions, also in Wednesday's episode, Donald McBride shows up and demands answers. Doug's son arrives in town and wastes no time in going to the casino and giving Joey a piece of his mind. But if this young lad thinks that Joey will buckle before him and offer up a confession, he's got another coming. Joey remains untouchable, for now at least. Lots of kisses are going on this week, and in Wednesday's episode, a passionate lip lock leaves emotions hanging in the balance. Will Eva and Tomas keep the fire burning hot, despite Kat coming around and seeing them together? And what of Carlton and Nicole? These two have had an intimate moment, but was it just an error in judgment or something the pair wants to pursue? The family— Stay tuned, soap fans. The halfway point of the week is here with much more to come before Friday. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th imply Catherine Kat Richardson will have a meltdown, while Martin Richardson sets boundaries. The Richardson kids will certainly face some drama during Tuesday's show, so let's get into what fans should expect during today's show. With all that said, Martin and Kat's parents will also deal with some growing pains. Well, Ted Richardson will need to man up and realize his marriage is over. That's because, during the BTG September 30 episode, Nicole Richardson will enjoy some time with Carlton Fitzgerald, and Ted will bear witness to the entire thing. Will Nicole and Carlton get their flirt on at the Fairmont Crest Country Club? In addition to what will Ted think of Andre's marriage to Danny Dupree? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Back to Martin, he'll begin to realize that he needs to talk about boundaries with someone. Could this someone be June? Martin brought Samantha Richardson to see the woman, but Bradley Smitty Smith was outraged by this move and let his husband know. Could June show up at the family home? If so, Martin will need to have a chat with her. Speaking of June, Beyond the Gates spoilers for September 30th hint that she'll get more help from her friends. What could this be about, and does she need more assistance and support where work is concerned? Finally, Kat will be heartbroken during today's show. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize this is about catching her sister, Eva Tomas, with Tomas. Something is a massive miss here, because Eva was completely blown away by Tomas during their encounter on the Monday, September 29th episode, while Kat has insisted he was bad in bed. Will Eva be quick to tell her sister this? Tomas was Kat's first, and she has been insecure about this for a while now. So does Kat have intimacy issues? Beyond the Gates spoilers imply there's so much more to this story than meets the eye, so it'll be interesting to see the direction this all takes. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th suggest that Catherine Kat Richardson will suffer some heartbreak, while Nicole Richardson moves forward with a fresh chapter. Plus, Martin Richardson sets boundaries. Read on to learn more about what's set to unfold on Tuesday's show. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th indicates that Kat will deal with a devastating blow. It sounds like this is about Eva Tomas and Tomas Navarro. So will Kat witness their encounter? Is this officially the end of the Tom-Kat romance? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Meanwhile, Kat's mom, Nicole, will enjoy a fresh chapter with Carlton Fitzgerald. Since Ted Richardson's slip-up with Leslie Thomas, Nicole has been adamant about her marriage being over, so it looks like she'll decide to pursue things with her husband's business partner. Added teasers imply that Ted will be spying on the twosome as they bond, so it looks like he won't be pleased at what he's seeing. Speaking of, Ted and Andre Richardson will have a chat about love and the women in their lives during the September 30th episode. In other news, Martin will realize he needs to set boundaries with someone. Is this about his reunion with Bradley Smitty C. Smith, or something else? Martin is desperate for things to go back to normal with Smitty. However, Smitty is still very apprehensive when it comes to Martin and trust. Then again, Martin's boundaries might be about June and her interaction with Samantha Richardson and Tyrell Richardson. Speaking of June, she'll get by with a little help from her friends. Will Naomi Hawthorne and Jacob Hawthorne step in to assist her with something? What storyline are you most looking forward to during Tuesday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates updates, spoilers, and news. How will Kat react? Will she blame herself or lay this all on Eva's shoulders? As suspected, once Thomas and Eva hooked up, he would realize he was more sexually compatible with Eva than he was with Kat. In the Monday, September 29th episode of Beyond the Gates, Thomas and Eva slept together, and Kat discovered a towel-clad Thomas. Tomas and Eva were inevitable. The so-called friends have been dancing around each other for months now, and on Monday, Tomas helped Eva move back into the condo she once shared with her mom after learning that Leslie bought it for her. Of course, the conversation turned to Tomas and Kat and how she wasn't returning his calls. And on top of that, she made him feel like he was bad in bed. Eva assured him that he shouldn't think like that. He has never gotten complaints before, right? Eva eventually took the leap and kissed Tomas, and he wasn't mad at it. In fact, they took it further and had sex. On her couch, of course. Eva gave Tomas a 5-star review. The two were in sync the whole way. Meanwhile, Chelsea overcame an Allison scare like a boss, and as a result, she and Kat killed their... Afterward, Chelsea convinced Kat to make nice with Eva. In fact, she told her that even before reconnecting with Tomas that she should go to Eva's and give her one of their designer purses and try to make peace. It's one of Kat and Tomas's issues, but certainly not the only one. Needless to say, her visit to Eva's didn't end well. Kat made nice in the way only she can, but Eva was clearly trying to get rid of her. She knew who was in her shower. Ultimately, Tomas walked into the room sporting his tattoos and a towel, and Kat spotted him. According to the Tuesday teasers, Kat will be devastated. So will this be the final nail in the coffin for Kat and Tomas? It has to be. There's no explaining this away. Teasers for Tuesday's episode say that Kat is dealt a devastating blow. Is she too devastated to... If they end, will it be with integrity and class, or with messiness and shame? What's next for Nicole and Carlton? The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, suggest that Nicole and Carlton will share an intimate moment in public. Nicole is more than ready to move on from her marriage to Ted. She wants to move forward with Carlton. In Tuesday's episode, the two will share an intimate moment, but they're not alone. According to the weekly teasers, there are plenty of watchful eyes. In Fairmont Crest, you have to be careful, especially when you're newly divorced. You never know who's keeping an eye out. Who could it be? Ted has interrupted Nicole and Carlton having fun before, and Carlton is his business partner. Could it be Ted? Martin resets some boundaries, but he's struggling with his own issues about this matter. What could he do next? Could his mission to set personal boundaries fail? Kat deals with a devastating blow. She receives upsetting news that could change everything. This revelation could involve her half-sister Eva and her boyfriend, Tomas. What's next for Kat? Is she going to seek revenge? Ted and his nephew will discuss affairs of the heart. It sounds like he's going to talk to Andre about his surprise wedding to Danny and probably Ted's divorce. These men share a taste for complicated women. Meanwhile, Ted has some surprises up his sleeve. Does he end up in bed with Leslie again? Stranger things have happened. Does he actually have feelings for the villain of Fairmont Crest? Will they actually go public with their relationship? Or is he just confused and lonely at the moment? June gets a little help from her friends. What's going on with our favorite new character? Why is she in distress or need? Bill has been playing detective, and Hayley catches him. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, suggest that Hayley catches on to her husband Bill's detective skills. Hayley discovers that her husband has been playing detective. She must be shocked to learn what Bill has been up to behind the scenes. What will she do about this matter? Looks like more trouble is coming for this couple. Meanwhile, Derek feels left out in the cold. What has triggered this reaction? Does he feel like Ashley is hiding something from him? After all, she just found out that Andre married Danny, and that left her shook. So, what will Derek do about these feelings? Speaking of Danny, she confesses her addiction to Anita. Exactly what addiction will she confess? Maybe it's her drinking. Has she come to terms with it? Not necessarily. Or it's her addiction to drama. What words of wisdom will Anita offer her daughter? Donald McBride shows up in Fairmont Crest and demands answers. As BTG fans already know, he's Vanessa's and Doug's son. Don L. is on a mission to get answers about his father's death. His appearance is going to cause heightened tensions. Vanessa's son will lash out, which will shake up Joey's world. A passionate lip lock will leave emotions hanging in the balance. Who will end up getting into their feelings? Could this be Danny and Bill, who are feeling lost and confused right now? After all, Danny is enjoying Bill's reaction to her wedding to Andre, so it wouldn't be a shock if those two kissed. And if they do, could Hayley catch them in the act? Beyond the Gates predictions talk about stalker Allison Bailey striking again, and Hayley Lawson totally miffed about something. We've got predictions for Bill Hamilton, Danny Dupree, and Hayley. Also, one for Catherine Kat Richardson and Toma Navarro. Also, one for Allison and Chelsea Hamilton, for Andre Richardson and Danny, and also for Joey Armstrong and Vanessa McBride. Our very first prediction: Bill obsesses about Danny, and Hayley is very annoyed. Wednesday spoilers have two people sharing a passionate kiss that riles up their emotions. And we know from the promo that Danny and Bill are kissing this week. Also on Wednesday, Danny tells Anita Dupree about her addiction, and it may be to Bill. On Wednesday, Hayley finds out that Bill has been playing detective. He might be digging into Danny's recent marriage. Thursday, Danny makes someone have some doubts. And again, this may be about her kiss with Bill because she asks him if he's ashamed after they lock lips. And Friday, Danny has a stunning suggestion for Andre. It's some sort of unconventional proposal. So, Danny was appalled to wake up hungover and with a cigar ring wedding band. Worse yet, the Anita drag queen posted photos of Andre and Danny's wedding. So, Danny was having her lawyer find out how quickly they can do an annulment. And then Bill dropped by and was ranting at Danny. Ironically, Bill was going off about Danny marrying someone so much younger than her. As if Bill isn't having to get Hayley juice boxes and coloring books, right? Bill's very strong reaction had Danny changing her mind about the annulment, at least for now. And this week, Bill still seems really bothered by Danny's elopement and that she's married to another man. So, that may be what he's investigating that really irritates Hayley and makes her jealous, and that's why Bill and Danny share a kiss this week. Andre married her, and now Danny is forbidden fruit. Shame on that, Bill Hamilton. Our second prediction: Kat tries to steal Tomas back. Monday spoilers have Kat talking to Chelsea about her kind of mixed-up feelings for Tomas. Also on Monday, Eva Thomas helps Tomas deal with his insecurities, and the spoiler specifically says Eva helps Tomas and puts his insecurities to bed. That definitely sounds like naughty stuff happening. On Tuesday, Kat is absolutely crushed. So, we know Kat has not gotten any O's from Tomas, and the last time they did the deed, things went so badly that he walked out after Kat said, "Maybe Tomas is the one who's bad in bed." Then last week, Dana Leslie Thomas told Eva to go for it with Tomas and fight for the man that she wants. So, on Monday, with this spoiler about Eva addressing Tomas's insecurities, it sounds like Eva and Tomas do the deed, and maybe he delivers her all the O's that Kat wasn't picking up. So on Tuesday, with Kat crushed, it sounds like she might find— To be fair, it seemed like Kat and Tomas were done when he walked out the other day. What's worse is if Eva confirms that Tomas really rung her bell, and then Kat's got her own insecurities to obsess about. Also, as she did when she was sabotaging Eva's job at Dr. Ted Richardson's office, I'm betting Kat may do all she can to mess up things with Tomatas and Eva, even though she and Tomas were definitely not clicking and do not seem meant for each other. Our third prediction: Allison grabs for tabloid and internet fame. On Monday, Chelsea gets an unwelcome blast from her past. According to Beyond the Gate spoilers, also this week, Chelsea and Kat have their big purse line debut. It's going to be an online event. Think a live stream type of QVC thing with high schooler Samantha running the event. I just can't imagine we've seen the last of insane Allison, so she might be the blast from Chelsea's past. Allison is so obsessed with Chelsea and her online persona, so maybe Allison's going to make it public that she and Chelsea got married, at least in Allison's crazy brain. Or maybe Allison is going to get hold of a jailhouse phone and call in to Chelsea's and Kat's launch day and start talking crazy. Or if she can get her hands on a smuggled cell phone. According to all the crime shows I've seen, cell phones get smuggled into jails all the time. So, I feel like Allison may want to grab some exposure of her own and might use this launch as a platform to make it known that she is Chelsea's wife, etc. Our fourth prediction: Andre wants a real marriage to Danny, or does he? So this week, Andre suggests to Danny that he move into her house, and of course, they are married. They're still not annulled. On Tuesday, Andre is talking to Dr. Ted about women and feelings and all that stuff. So, Andre seems really bothered that Ashley Morgan proposed to Derek Baldwin, and now that ring is on her finger. And Andre definitely didn't like it when Ashley Morgan said they are both where they should be. He completely rejects that theory. Andre Richardson has had a crush on Ashley Morgan for a long time. And for a long time, he and Danny were booty calls, non-blood related, family with benefits situationship. But now they're hitched. So, when Andre suggests that he move into her house, I just wonder if he's going to try to make it work with Danny so he can try and forget Ashley and the fact that he wants her. Meanwhile, Danny is playing her elopement with Andre to entice and infuriate Bill. So, looks like they're both kind of doing the same thing, the newlyweds, right? If Andre does move in with Danny, I'm just not sure them sticking with this marriage is doing it for the right reasons. Andre seems to want Ashley, and Danny seems to want Bill, and the people they want are both with other people. However, maybe this marriage will turn real for both Andre and Danny, and then they'll see that they should just walk away from their exes and be happy together. We'll see how that goes. Our fifth and final prediction: Vanessa rejects Joey, and he doesn't take it well. Monday spoilers have Vanessa questioning Jacob Hawthorne about Doug McBride's car accident, and I wonder if she'll be suspicious because he went straight from the casino into a ravine while Joey was conspicuously out of town after insisting he and Vanessa needed to leave. Wednesday and Thursday spoilers have Doug and Vanessa's son, Donald McBride, in town. He's taking a little break from college, obviously, to deal with his dad's death, and he's making scenes. He goes up to the casino, and Donald confronts. I'm guessing he is saying that his dad was overserved, and Danelle is absolutely going to hate Joey. So, we all know Joey had Marcel Malone get Doug drunk, put him in the car. I mean, heck, Marcel may have even put a passed-out Doug behind the wheel and just took him. You know, put a brick on the gas pedal and sent him into that ravine. In the end, we all know Joey is likely 100% responsible for Doug's death. You know, Joey could have been patient, and Doug might have ended up accidentally doing this to himself. But Joey was impatient. He wants Vanessa all to himself. And in the end, I think Joey assumes now that Doug is dead and out of the way, the path is clear, and that he can have Vanessa all to himself. Maybe Joey even envisions his ring on Vanessa's finger, because Joey thinks that Vanessa is his perfect partner in bed, and also in crime. To be fair, I think Joey's definitely Vanessa's match, but her son Donald would lose it if he knew his mom was banging Joey, the guy that Donald wants to sue for his dad's death. So I think when Joey tries to move closer, Vanessa is going to take a step back. But I do say, once the dust settles, so long as no evidence points to Joey being culpable in Doug's death, I do think Vanessa will wind up with the bad guy. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you,